Hi, my name is Eli Gonzales, Pro Team Tyer with Regal Vice and Semperfli Pro Team. Today I'm tying it with AvidMax. Super excited to share a couple of patterns with you. The first one is going to be a Cased Caddis pattern that I've been tying up. Don't really have a name with it, so maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. Super excited to be here to share some of my patterns with you. My son Dylan, hopefully you've been able to see some of his videos with AvidMax. Out here sharing some ideas. So let's get started. Today in the vise, we have this little Peaking Caddis, Cased Caddis, which was kind of born on the Conejos River, southern Colorado here. I noticed that fishing that river for several years, probably 30 plus, that the Cased Caddis there were a specific size. I noticed them to be somewhere between the 7 to 10 mil range, always finding them under rocks and doing our due diligence. So this is a pattern that I came up with. I've been fishing this for quite some time. I've kind of modified it over the years, and it's always evolving with me. If you kind of follow me on social media and stuff, you'll notice that my patterns are always evolving. So let's go ahead and get started. In the vise, we are going to start with a size 16. This is a Daiichi hook. It's a 1270, and I have a 2.4 millimeter bead already on the hook. I'm going to start with some Semperfli Nano Silk. This is their 30 denier in black. And we're going to start kind of in the center of the hook, and we're just going to build a little thread base toward the rear. Again, this is a Peaking Caddis pattern, which is kind of some new techniques involved with this. It's going to be a little different, right? We're going to have the bead a little off center with this, which is something I've been working with. We're going to grab some hen fibers, maybe just 8 to 10. We're going to place these on the rear. This is going to represent our legs from the Peaking Caddis. We're going to tie them in toward the bend. And come back up. Come in and clean off some of the rear fibers. Caddis are an abundant insect, and you can fish these pretty much anywhere, which makes this a pretty versatile pattern. We're going to be using some Semperfli Suede Chenille. This is in the small size. I believe it's the 3 mil. I've already kind of burned the tip there at the end to kind of keep it from fraying apart. And I'm going to go ahead and add this right above the hen fibers. I'm going to kind of measure it out for the size of Peaking Caddis that we're after. This is a great material to use. It's very versatile. I'm going to cut this off at a slight angle here so that I can cover it up with my thread. And something different about this fly that kind of makes it unique is that we're going to set this bead back over that Peaking Caddis. I'm now going to use some SLF dubbing in the brown color. I kind of like to use the spiky dubbing for this because even though the hen fibers we have that have already representing our legs, this will do just as well. So I'm just going to come right here toward the front of the Peaking Caddis. It doesn't have to be real pretty here because again, we're looking for the movement that this is going to give us in the water. And then I'm going to go ahead and whip finish this. I'm going to go ahead and cut my thread off, and you're going to see that I'm going to push this bead up, and what it's going to do here is it's going to kind of create the beginning of our case. Now I'm going to grab some other thread. This happens to be just a little thicker. It's not really important on the color of thread you're going to use for this second part. I kind of just like to use a lighter color so that I can see where I'm adding the segments. I kind of get a little detail oriented with my patterns, especially when they're semi-realistic, such as this one. You'll notice that I will also be counter spinning my thread to kind of flatten it out. I'm trying to build a nice smooth base for this pattern. And I want to build a little bulk behind this bead, to hold it there in place, but also so that I can create the shape for this pattern. If you'll notice the cases on these caddis, they tend to be a little, they're tapered, they're a little carrot shaped, and so we're trying to represent that. And I will use this thicker thread so that I don't have to build up so much other with the nano silk, with the smaller stuff. So this just kind of saves a little bit of time. I'll flatten it out once more, and I'll take it back to the bead, where I will go ahead and capture it now. I could whip finish it, but I don't like to build a little hump there. So I will just grab my other black nano silk, which I was originally tying with, and I'll just capture it off there. I'll put a couple of spins just to make sure that I captured it correctly. Then I'll come in and I will cut that other thread free. What you can do to speed up time, you can grab yourself a Bic Sharpie. Let me show it here in the, this just happens to be black. And I'm going to go ahead and cover the body with it. There we go. And then I will just go ahead and wrap down. Again, always working on that taper, trying to keep the fly clean, flat, so that you can build that nice shape to it. Now, I'm going to use some stripped peacock quills. I happen to strip these myself, just from the peacock stem. I will go ahead and just strip off all the fibers from there. I don't know if you can see that there. And I'm going to go ahead and tie this in on the thick side of the quill. It's on my side, but I'll go ahead and turn the vise so that you can see exactly how I'm tying that in there. Just kind of flat. And then I'm going to want to hide the tie-in point so that it's nice and clean. Then I will take this thread all the way back down toward the eye. Again, always working on this taper. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this peacock quill and I will start wrapping it toward the eye in very small open wraps so that you can still see through to create that nice caddis, cased caddis body. Capture it here at the end with a few wraps. Clean it up. And we're just about done with this fly. I'll go ahead and whip finish. It's a fun, semi-realistic, but easy pattern to tie. I'm trying to keep the simplicity, but yet create the effectiveness of a semi-realistic pattern. Now for this next step, we're going to use some Solarez Bone Dry resin. I know not everybody can tie with this. You may want to have a fan close by to take the fumes away. Sometimes some people build up some allergies to these, and so you got to be careful with resin. But this tends to be a nice thin resin to work with this Cased Caddis, and you'll see exactly the effect I'm getting on the screen there. Hopefully you can see it nice and clean. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and hit it with my light. This happens to be the Semperfli light. It's a fantastic UV torch. I don't know if you see these. I know they have them here at AvidMax. I would reach out to them. This is something that, it's a great product. It's something I use. I know that Dylan, my son, uses as well. So now you'll see that this pattern is just about done. It's a nice clean cased caddis, little peking caddis. Something I like to do as well. is I'll clean it up just a little bit, some of these edges, but I'm going to take some black nail polish. This happens to be Sally Hansen's Extreme Wear. You can pick this up pretty much anywhere, I think. It's just black in color. I'll take just the smallest amount, and I'm just going to touch the head there, just to build a little bit of a head on this fly. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with my light because this light is hot enough that it will dry that. It's going to kind of soak into the fiber a little bit, you'll notice. But look at the nice UV reflection on that pattern. So then I'll take another small dab, as I've already dried that bottom one, and I'll just hit it again. And just kind of keep that nice and shiny on the tip there. So hopefully you liked that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Nice little cased caddis pattern. Looking for a name for this one, so reach out in the comments, share with me, share with AvidMax. You can find all the products here. And thanks for watching.